Hi, hello. Okay, so honestly, we just got back really late last night from Bensalem, Pennsylvania. It's like about an 8-hour drive. Somehow, Brandon made the drive in like 7 freaking hours. He was cruising. But let's do a little recap of the weekend and events. We left Thursday at midnight. I'm very seldomly up past 10 o'clock. So, and I could not take a nap Thursday to save my life. I'm not really one to sleep in the car, so I knew it was gonna be rough Friday. We left at midnight, the whole crew. Honestly, this is my first time traveling with a large crew of people to go to a competition. Usually, I just go myself and worry about myself. So it was pretty cool, albeit a little bit more stressful to travel with a large amount of people. But God, I can't believe Brandon drove there and back. Like, I wouldn't have made it. I can't sit in a car for 7 hours driving myself. Jesus. I just get so bored driving. But we got there all in one piece. Weighed in. They actually let us weigh in just a little bit early because we were there at like 7:30. So we weighed in and we're done by 8, which was awesome. The facility was sweet. It was small, but it was so clean. They had such a cool amount of like old Nautilus machines, really good selection of hammer strength. Like, it was a sweet facility. It was the Spartan Strongman competition. So is that Spartan Strength. Really cool gym in Pennsylvania. Really cool gym. Really freaking cool gym. But I think by the time we got there, I was absolutely in a daze. I weighed in at 160 for this competition. I was thinking about cutting to 148, but then once I saw that there were only a couple female competitors and they had already bumped me up and put me in the middleweight 165 class and the weights were the same, I just didn't bother. Ultimately, my goal anyways is to go up in weight class, so yeah. Just weighed in 160, didn't have to cut. That was pretty awesome. And with the drive the night before, a cut would have been goddamn brutal. And I don't need to subject everyone to that. So made it, took a nap, and kind of explored. Now, I like Dayton. Now living in Troy. Troy is adorable. I always expect though that when I go somewhere else, it's going to be awesome. Like, everyone's like, Dayton, Ohio, it's so boring. Like, it sucks here. But Pennsylvania, like, it was kind of dirty. There really wasn't much to do there. You had to go to Philly to really do anything, and then like you could see old historical shit, which, you know, can be cool, like the Liberty Bell and stuff. Cool to see once, but like, come on. No really good parks. There's some cool museums, but like, really there wasn't that much going on. So ate, hung out, saw some stuff. Let's get into competition day. So we got there right around 8:45. So competition started at 10, so just wanted to make sure I'd be there early. Plenty of time to hit a gas station, grab some energy drinks. I was really hoping to find, I always want to visit new gas stations just because I'm like, what energy drinks can I find that I have never seen before? And I found nothing new, which was also kind of disappointing. Like, what cool flavors am I gonna find? Didn't find anything, so it was fine. But got there, I think there were 25 competitors, so just about everyone was already there, which was pretty cool. They had all of the equipment out, so got my bearings and started warming up. Now, okay, Thursday, I took my magnesium like normal, so hopefully I would like chill out and, you know, go to the bathroom before we got too deep into the trip. Honestly, I have a shy butthole. Like, okay, I moved in with Brandon, I think 8 months into dating him. Up to that point, I had not pooped at his house. Just couldn't. So like, I knew being with everyone, I would not poop like a normal person. And I didn't. But I've never had this happen before in competition. Suddenly, I'm warming up, go to the bathroom, fine, okay. I'm warming up on the keg. I shit myself. Like, not a lot, but enough that I had to change my pants warming up. I was like, what the fuck is this? Who? I've never peed myself while lifting. I expected that before just shitting myself. So that's how the morning started off. Our first event was the medley. So it was, you had 75 seconds to do an axle clean and press, a log clean and press, not a log, a keg clean and press, and then max reps on a circus dumbbell. My weights were 110, a little over 100-pound keg, and I think an 80-pound circus dumbbell. Axle, fine, easy. It was a really thin axle, so I didn't even have to offset my grip. I could just clean it, press it. Really, really smooth, really, really easy, no big deal. Circus dumbbell. You know, I'd been training with the fat grips, and I feel like that was actually a lot harder than using an actual circus dumbbell. So that was fine, weight was fine, no big deal. But that goddamn keg, the keg has been the bane of my existence in training for like the last 16 weeks. It's probably been within the last 3-ish weeks that I could actually do a 95-pound keg. Like, I would usually have to try a couple times, but yeah. So, of course, competition day, I was like, oh yeah, no problem, I got this. Oh my God. In warm-ups, could not do it. Just hit my boobs every goddamn time. It was such a shit show. And then actually when I was doing my timed run, I had to try to clean it 3 times. I got it on the 3rd time. Thank God, because then I was able to at least get 1 circus dumbbell rep. So I got a total of 3 points on that one. But that clean, Jesus Christ, I basically just kind of like manhandled it and somehow pressed it over my head. Like, it was the grossest looking thing you've ever seen in your goddamn life. Like, I don't know how I did it, but holy shit, I I don't even know what that was. I was just happy. I've got points. Cool. Okay, we're on to the next event. I changed my clothes, so hopefully I was just hoping for no more incidents, especially when I cleaned the keg again. Jesus. But next event was the log clean and press, and this actually went way, way better than it did in training. So I started off with the medley, pretty par for the course. I was just happy to get points on every event. Cool. Now, the log clean and press, so basically how they did it, there were 3 females, so it was me, Emily, and I think her name was Shannon. She was really, really good, honestly. She was in the same weight class as me. She was great on all events. But it was just me, Emily, and Shannon. So we chose where we wanted to start. So we started at 110 and kind of went back and forth. The log increased 10 pounds and you got to say if you wanted to do it. So I went 110, 120, 130. I cleaned 140, missed the jerk. So that was actually a PR for my log and PR for a clean. No issues with my boobs on this event at all. No issues. It was spectacular. Okay, so that went really well. Emily ended up doing a really, really easy 180, so that was really nice too. I think I finally figured out my belt combination for the log. I want to get one of the Cerberus soft belts that I can wear as an underbelt because I think it would help my press a lot. That press is just, it's so weird because like you have this goddamn log on your chest it's a 10-inch diameter log for the women. The men I think had a 12, and it's just a weird position. Like I'll take a barbell any day. Like, so that was kind of challenging. It wasn't bad though. And if I leave my lever belt slightly like not latched, then I can kind of pull the log and set it on that so it gets over my boobs easier. So I think I found a really good combination for that, which was nice. So that went really, really well. The next event was the 18-inch deadlift. So I wore my metal deadlift suit, straps. You could wear whatever you wanted for this, basically. And it was same kind of format. Men and women were together. We started at 350 and it went 355 and went 20 pound jump. So I went 355, 375, 395, called it there. Pretty much par for the course, and that's really basically what I wanted to hit on the 18-inch deadlift. I hate deadlifting so much, especially conventional deadlifting. I would rather go to a men's room truck stop and lick the floor than deadlift most of the time. So I was pretty happy with how this event went. And training leading up to it, I've just got to make peace with the conventional deadlift. Honestly, I've just had issues with my back in the past. Starting off, I was really, really, really hypermobile, like to the point where Marcus would be like, it looks like when you do that, weights are just gonna smash you. I was a noodle girl. I was just a giant goddamn noodle when I did anything. So it took me a long time to kind of like understand bracing, getting my glute function up to where it needed to be so that I wouldn't just use my back for everything. And during that process, I'm just very, very guarded with my back. And I've just kind of got to make peace with, I am not gonna fall apart It's gonna be fine. I've worked a lot on my bracing. I've worked on my glute function. Like, my body works correctly. So I really need to kind of just like make peace with that. And that's where a lot of my kind of like issues with Strongman come in, just because I tend to be very, very timid with picking things up in odd positions. In CrossFit, you're not picking up so many awkward objects. Not many awkward objects at all. Like mostly you're dealing with a barbell. Here and there, a light sandbag. No big deal. But in Strongman, you have to wrap your body around so many objects, and you're in that spinal flexion, and such spinal flexion that it worries me. And I don't love it. So to be more successful in Strongman, I'm going to have to train those positions a lot more. But training for 18-inch deadlift, I was very, very cautious with the frequency that I was deadlifting. And Marcus put together a superb plan. So I was really, really happy with how that event went. Okay, next up was the medley that I was dreading the most. So it was a 360 yoke. You took it 25 meters. Came back, grabbed a 140, either 130 or 140 pound sandbag, put it over the yoke, then ran back, grabbed a 130 pound keg, another goddamn keg to load. And then you went and grabbed, I think it was 100 or 130 or 140 pound stone, and loaded it. So in training, I could barely do, I was practicing with a 100-pound sandbag, the 95-pound keg, and a 100-pound stone. I could barely do those in the time limit. I had never touched anything heavier, honestly, because that was such a struggle. And I was really, 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 really afraid of it all. So yoke, fine. I really wasn't worried about that. Oh, slightly. Okay, I was ever so slightly worried about the yoke. Just because sometimes it bothers my back. It's wild how much, squatting that kind of load is so much easier than picking up and walking like with that load. It feels like it's just gonna drive you down into the depths of hell. Like, it's so uncomfortable. But I kind of gotten used to that, and I wasn't really worried about the yoke. But boy, God, I was worried about the sandbag, and I did way better than I expected, honestly, because I didn't expect to even take the sandbag down to the yoke. But I picked up the bag, took it down to the yoke, couldn't load it, but I was really, really happy, and I was really, really dreading that event, honestly. But it went very, very well. Of course, I would have liked to complete the medley, but I knew, but that was a win for me. So, gotta take the wins. The last one was the Husafeld stone. It was 160 pounds, and you just kind of had to walk back and forth with it. So I think I made one complete pass, and then part of the way, so I think I did 40 some meters with it. which was good because I hadn't really practiced any heavier than 140 because that felt god awful. I need to figure out a strategy because I basically like tore all of the skin off my arms doing this, but it was fine. I was just really happy I had no more wardrobe malfunctions the rest of the day. Energy felt really, really fine. It was a really, really quick event, which was cool. And I performed, honestly, way, way, way better than I expected. But I think next up, my plans. I think next I'm going to do the Strongman competition at the gym. So Chris Vaccio is putting it on. And the events are, well, I remember most of them. So the events are log, 18-inch deadlift. There's a heavy Husafeld. There is also, let's see, a keg carry and load, a heavy keg load. So I'm gonna have to train on the keg a lot more. And then I don't remember what the last event is, but that one's October 29th, so I have plans on doing that one. And since the events are really, really close to what we just completed, I feel very, very good about that. So, I think I'm pretty into Strongman now. And honestly, it was a really fun time competing. It was really, really chill. I liked the flow of the day. It was really fun to have just like multiple different things to do throughout the day. It felt more like CrossFit, which is kind of where I started with everything. Way different than powerlifting, way different than weightlifting. It was quite a good time. And I really loved our training leading up to it. I felt like it prepared us all really well. Like Emily, this was her first Strongman competition. She did amazing. She did great on every event. Let's see. I don't remember how many reps that she did on the circus dumbbell, but she did really, really well on that event. Really, really quick with the axle, the keg. She had really good endurance, especially like her freaking carry medley. She did it in right around 30 seconds. Like her endurance has gotten so much better. She was a speed demon with everything. She log pressed 180, like really, really nice and easily. And then she deadlifted 495. And she had some left in the tank there. Husafeld, she did a shit ton of laps. Like, so many. I don't even know. I'll have to look at the results, but she did so many. Brownie, who also competed, he did so well. Like, this was also his first Strongman competition. His carry medley, also, I think in the mid-30s mark. Like, holy shit. They did spectacular. So our training leading up to this was spot on, honestly, spot on. So what I'm gonna do is pop it all together into a nice, easy format. And if you're looking to try Strongman, if you're looking to do a competition with very similar events, give it a try. I'm gonna put it out there for people to buy. And let me know if you wanna get in on training for this next event. It was a very cool experience for me, just not being good at something again. I think I've competed for the past 11 years, starting off in CrossFit, then weightlifting and powerlifting, and done some Highland Games. It's really weird not being good at something again. Like, I spent so long kind of perfecting my squat, bench, deadlift, the snatch, the clean and jerk, working on my gymnastics movements. It was wild, and it felt fun. It felt really good not being good at something again. It was very humbling, but I really like trying to learn new things. I'm not super athletic, and it takes me a long time to acquire skill, but I'm really good at playing around with things and figuring out what works for me, what kind of cues do I need, what do I need to add to my training. So it was really cool leading up to this event, just having to learn a bunch of new shit and kind of going back to the drawing board. It was really cool. And not competing in a couple years, I kind of forgot that rush that you get from competing and that kind of like adrenaline dump afterwards. Like, after I was done with the Husafeld carry, I just sat down exhausted, and all of that, everything just hit me. And I wanted to like cry and laugh all at the same time. It was wild. I forgot about that just like adrenaline dump that happens after a competition. And honestly, I think playing around with Strongman has kind of like, I just hadn't found anything fun to do in powerlifting in the past couple years. Like, the last meet that I did was the Corona Classic WPO. Oh, I guess I did a raw powerlifting meet right after that at the gym, but those were the last ones that I did, and that was 2022. So it's been, or 2020, so it's been a couple years, and just going through that process again, it was fun. It was really, really fun. So I'm really happy to have found that again. And training leading up to this event, while very frustrating because I couldn't do a lot of the things leading up. And yeah, maybe I should have just gone like novice for my first one, but I just really wanted to kind of like throw myself in there and see what happens. That's kind of my approach. Like, let's just go. Let's see what we got, and we'll go from there. So for my first competition, I'm really happy with how I did. I'm really happy with my performances from the day. I ended up second. And I think I'm ready for more. It was a really good time. So if you want to hop in with training, let me know.